Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about scenario number 2, focus on learning cultures and sustaining cultures. Um, just kind of reading through this, looks like that we're the principal, and we're trying to get everybody to be on the same page and want to do the same evaluation. And we've overheard teachers in your school talk about the district's evaluation system, saying it don't truly measure the skills, and it's too stressful. Well, I mean, kind of what I've learned today is I think that our state of South Carolina probably puts a little bit too much weight on test scores at the end of the year. And now starting this 4.0 rubric. Have you heard about that?
No.
Mm-mm. Unless it's called something different here. No.
Okay. It's something called 4.0 rubric. I'm thinking the whole state of South Carolina is going to this. And it's where you're going to be graded on 4 criteria. So not all of your evaluation is going to be based off your testing scores at the end of the year. It's going to be more based on when the administrator comes into your classroom, they're looking for 4 criteria, and it's planning, instruction, professionalism, and environment. And so we just learned this today, and I thought it was kind of a cool little deal. Maybe I want to kind of start with what y'all think, and then I can kind of end and tell you a little bit about what we learned.
Okay, is that something like where they come in and they're only there for like 20 minutes to evaluate those things?
Actually, they told me that it was going to take the entire 45 minutes of class to even try to get through all this.
Did you just say the entire 45 minutes? Your classes are 45 minutes?
Yeah, like I teach 45-minute classes because I teach 6 classes a day.
Okay, that's right. Okay. That's right. I was like, wait, what?
And see, like
I wish we were 50-minute classes.
Well, like the core teachers, sometimes they'll have 90-minute classes.
We have 90. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Because we do something similar to that, and I'll be honest with you, it is new this year, and I don't know the name of it, but there are there are 4 different things, and then she'll come in. It only takes her 20 minutes, and then I'll get an immediate email that states that she came in, she did my evaluation, and I got to have 2 of those this year, but they're only 20 minutes long, and they are covering 4 different areas.
It's like an instructional rounds, like a walkthrough.
Well, we have walkthroughs and we have this. So I don't know if it's something like what you're saying, to be honest with you. I've not looked that much into it because I feel like we're always changing something. But She's got her walkthroughs and she'll come in for like 3 or 4 minutes. And then she's got that 20 minutes where she came in and she sat down and she went through and answered those. It's 4 different points, like you're saying. I just don't know exactly if they're the same thing that you just stated or not.
Well, like each one of these are graded off of a rubric. So what it is on their screen, they have this huge rubric that pulls up, and they go by and check mark each objective or each criteria under each section of planning, instruction.
Like if you're proficient, distinguished. Right. Yes, that's what ours is.
And it's broke down into exemplary, proficient, needs improvement, and unsatisfactory.
Okay.
They said that proficient and exemplary are great. It's kind of like this school that we're taking now, this class. You know, they're fine with a proficient.
Okay.
So that's the same thing they're thinking on this 4.0 rubric, is that a proficient's fine. It's kind of almost impossible to get exemplary.
Okay. So that's like getting a 3.
Right. And the difference between this one and the one we've been doing is you have what they call a pre-conference, which is when you meet with your administrator and tell them all the ideas that you're going to be doing during your lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll tell you the day they're going to come in. They'll come in and watch your lesson. And then they have a post-conference where they describe your strengths and weaknesses, but they really don't want to word it that way. But it's more like, you know, what are some areas that could be – they word it some other way just so it wouldn't make the teacher feel like they didn't know what they were doing.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's kind of something South Carolina has struggled with the last 4 years I've taught, is they base teachers off of one test at the end of the year. You can't do that. And I think that's where the state has decided now that that's not fair.
Right.
Because, like, South Carolina is totally different from North Carolina. North Carolina, they have EOGs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And, you know, you take it one time, and if you have an area that you need to work on, you get to work on that area and then redo it again, right? Or something like that.
Yes, but there was a time we weren't even doing retests. You took the test, that was it.
Okay.
They weren't even letting kids retest until last year.
And
But
see,
they only picked a select few to retest, which was not fair either. They said, well, these kids were real close to making it, so we're going to let them retest. But the ones who weren't close, they're not going to retest.
that's what I wish we had, something like you got, because ours is based off of pretty much it's from the start of the year all the way to the end of the year, and then at the end of the year you take this test, and like they say, some could come in and they've lost a family member the night before and they bomb the test.
Mm-hmm.
And even our IEP students that are never going to have a chance at passing are taking it, which is making our scores plummet.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we just tested the ones that were in that at that reading level or higher, whatever it is, it would show a total different picture.
I totally agree. I think it's so unfair that the kids with IEPs that are on first and second grade reading levels in 7th and 8th grade, and then, of course, that doesn't change much getting into high school. Why are you giving that 7th grader who's really a second grader, why are you making them take that 7th grade test? And I get that we're trying to raise the bar, but you're basing that, our school score, on that child who cannot do it. It is what it is.
No, you're exactly right.
Isn't fair. That's not fair at all.
That's exactly right.
And some schools have an abundance of those kids with the IEPs. And I'm sorry, but the more and more, as years go on, we're getting more and more kids with IEPs.
Yeah.
And some of it's making excuses for some of these kids. Some of these kids really could do more than what they're doing, but the facts are the facts. By the time you all get them, how are you changing a first grade reading level of a 16-year-old?
Right.
You're not going to bring them over within that one school year up to an 11th grade level.
Right.
You're just not going to do it.
Right.
They've already been let go all the way through the entire system, and now you're supposed to change something?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Right.
Nope.
I agree.
Yep.
So I agree with you. It's bad that all of them are tested the exact same way. However, what also bothers me, because I work with those kids with the IEPs, is we don't test them that way throughout the school year. We read aloud to them. We dictate for them. We do all these special little things. We take off some of the questions. We change some of the questions. And then, bam, here's your EOG. Do it just like everybody else.
Right.
And now we're going to make that score count into our school system. That's not fair.
No.
All year long, we accommodate in so many ways. And then when the testing time is there, that's it.
Right.
This is going to count.
All
That's so unfair.
You know, if they really want us to pass these tests, why don't they give us what's going to be on the test prior?
Mhm.
Let the teachers review that.
Right.
But it's all like a big secret, and then when they come to the end, they're basing everything off of one day.
Mhm.
It ain't fair.
No.
And that's one of the reasons why they have adopted this new 4.0 rubrics is for that reason.
Okay, that's good.
I guess we need to get back to what we're doing, but that was just something I want to mention that we actually just went over today for the entire day. We did.
Okay.
But I guess the first question says, what essential elements should be a part of your new evaluation system? Well, what are y'all's thoughts?
I think you have to include what the person does for the school outside of the classroom. You know, I've worked with a lot of people in the past that may not be the best teacher in the world, but they're willing to take on yearbook or coaching this or taking up money at ball games. You know, they're really, those people are really invaluable to your school, even though they may not be the best teachers in the world. You know, so I think you got to take those things into account. And the schools that I've been at, definitely, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not a good teacher, so you're of no use to us. Bye-bye. Kind of thing.
I agree with that, because it's also hard to be able to see. I feel like whenever we vote, I don't know how y'all do it there, but we choose Teacher of the Year.
Right.
I think that's the most unfair thing we have ever done. How am I picking you as Teacher of the Year? And I don't even know what you do inside your classroom.
Right.
So it is stuff like that, because I actually hear on the core side of it against the encore, you hear a lot of these core teachers go, how did she win Teacher of the Year? She's just the band teacher.
Ooh.
She's just the chorus teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me she isn't just as much a part of these kids' lives as we are? Because I'm sorry, even in middle school, it's not just about what we're teaching them in the classroom. It's about those relationships that you're building with these students, just like you're saying in your book and all those extra places.
Yep.
You have some teachers who do not see it that way.
Yeah, we just recently had some teachers that had won that in the past, And their idea was, well, since we feel like we should be able to win again, let's make the criteria where we can win again if we wanted to. And so now they've made it to where anybody can win it again, even though they've already won it recently. I was sitting there thinking, so I guess you're pretty much calling everybody else not capable of winning it. So you want to be back into the –
Yeah.
This is winning what? I'm sorry. My son walked in for a second, and I looked at him, and this is for what?
Well, this was for Teacher of the Year.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
So the ones that have won in the past normally can't win again.
Right.
So it gives everybody else an opportunity. Well, now this year they changed it back because teachers that had won complained about not being able to win again. Because they thought they were more qualified.
It's all about how many people I can get. Hey, vote for me and I'll vote for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is at our school anyways. I don't think it's about quality teaching in the classroom. It's about who you can get to be your buddy and vote for you. If you get enough votes, then.
Well, looking at this rubric right here, and I was going to talk about Vance's thing, it actually has on here when they evaluate us on professionalism, one of the things they're evaluating us on, it says the educator actively supports school activities and events.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually a rubric criteria now.
Okay.
So that was the answer to your question, Vance, is actually, I had to go back and look, and I said, I remember that being on that rubric. So you're thinking more or less what they do outside schools be something they could add to it.
Yeah, I think that's an important,
Yep.
part of it.
What do you think?
It's hard. It's hard. That's one of those things is, as an administrator, I mean, how can you can't beat everything, obviously. So how do you know if Larry does more than Lynn, that kind of stuff. But I think if you're, out and about and your people, you will know who does the extra stuff that, helps the kids and the people.
Like coaching.
That's
Coaching
right.
is a big thing that helps students.
Yeah,
That's right.
The coach keeps them in line in the classroom. I have students that I can tell when it's baseball season, basketball season, and football season.
Yep.
They are perfect and every assignment is done because that coach stays on them. If it wasn't for that coach staying on them, I wouldn't have a perfect kid for 3 months.
That's right.
Yeah, the worst thing for you to do is say, I'm going to tell the coach. Oh,
Yes,
no, he'll make me
Yes,
run.
it is. Yes. So, I mean, that coach plays probably, I would say 80%, plays that much of what I'm getting out of my classroom.
Because that's what they enjoy doing, so it affects what they enjoy doing.
Absolutely. So, yes, they absolutely should be in that, I think I'd be good in the rubric. You're absolutely right.
What else do you want to add, Lynn?
That's really, that's good. Nothing else really. I like that.
I really think
I had a problem with some of these questions. I didn't think that far out of the box. That was really good. So what was yours?
Well, what I was thinking is what we have actually introduced today, I thought was wonderful. Looking at the planning part of it to see, are we doing guided practice, independent practice? Are we doing everything that we need to do to get them prepared for that day's lesson? So planning is a big part of it.
Yep.
But the biggest part of this rubric was instruction. What are you teaching the kids when you're inside the classroom? And that was one of the biggest things they're grading us on this 4.0 rubric. And, of course, professionalism. Are you able to be professional? Are you able to, keep your kids in order and, keep them in line and not be distracted and stuff like that? Environment was more or less what kind of environment are you offering these kids to walk into?
Mm-hmm.
That was just that other little thing that there are so many things that they're grading on that, like for instance, one of the environment things was students exhibit caring and respect for one another. So they're actually looking at how the kids are treating each other and things like that. And are you, I guess, modeling that to the kids? So I thought those 4 was really good. And testing just comes right at the way bottom now. So they're not looking at testing as much as what is the quality of teaching. So
that's good.
Yeah, those are good. I like that too.
So number 2 says, how would you get staff members to support your new evaluation system? I think what we did today, introduce it to them and have them provide input.
Yep.
Because if you don't involve the teachers, they're not going to want to do it.
Very
maybe
good.
maybe let the teachers create a component of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
So they felt like,
Right.
I did this, so, it's okay.
And one of the things they did is they said, well, let's watch a video of a teacher you grade them, and let's grade each other's. Let's look at each other's way that they evaluated it to see what should our administrators look for, because some people would put 2s, some would put 4s.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted us to all be at the same page, and we all shared and come up with a conclusion of what we wanted us to be graded on, how they wanted us to evaluate us. So I felt like I was a part of it when they did that.
Yes, I agree with that. I feel like they make those decisions without involving us.
Right.
And then it just falls to the wayside.
Right.
If you at least get us involved, I think things stay going a lot longer. I feel like our principal especially comes up with stuff, wants to do these great things, and then a few months later we never hear about it again.
Right.
To where if we are involved in the decision making, at least we teachers are going to hold you even accountable in some. So,
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, wait a minute, I implemented this. Why are we not using it? So
because that fight in the bus parking lot is more important.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I want to go back to, and this is a little bit of answering, I guess, number one. I thought y'all's was a little bit more elaborate, and I like those better, but lesson plans. I don't mean to check behind us and treat us like children again, but I do feel like we need to show accountability with lesson plans. I think that would keep us more organized as teachers and accountable.
Right.
I don't feel like teachers are doing lesson plans anymore. I'm guilty for that. I don't do lesson plans. Mm-hmm. But if I know that you're going to have me turn them in, or you're going to come around and check them, guess what? I'm doing them. Mm-hmm. But if you're not looking for them, I'm probably not doing them.
Well, I can tell you right now, in our school district, that's what it's about.
Okay, see, ours does not do that.
Like when they came in, and they come 3 times a year, the district office with the superintendent, and they come to each classroom in our school unannounced, mm-hmm. and they walk in and evaluate us.
Okay.
So what they do is they come in straight to the back of the room to look for the lesson plans.
Okay.
And what they want to make sure is the objective aligned with the standards. Is it measurable? Do you have an essential question? Do you have independent guided practice? Do you have closure? All that stuff like that they're looking for.
Okay. Well, that's good.
They harp on lesson plans.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
We do not.
Ours is due every Monday.
Like where your principal needs to see them?
We have to turn it in each Monday.
Okay. See, now I remember years back we had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did lesson plans on a regular course like I was supposed to.
Right.
I haven't done lesson plans in a couple of years.
So they don't make y'all do it? Wow.
Nope.
It's public school?
Yep.
God.
Nothing.
What about you, Vance? Yeah, it would be a boring lesson plan for me. We're going to warm up, run, and then we're going to lift weights.
Yeah.
So, but no, they don't require them of us. So
really?
No.
God.
Welcome to North Carolina.
Do y'all both work in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what they now I think this is more my county, but they're huge on I can.
Yeah.
Oh, we do the I can statements, yes. They just want
we can.
That's right.
Yeah. Or I do, you do, we do.
You have to have the I can statements present in the classroom or something posted?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
See, all of ours have to have a measurable objective. Like if I say my kids are going to create a Microsoft Excel project, we have to say with 85% accuracy, 90% accuracy. We have to set an expectation.
Oh, wow.
Each time. Darn.
Yeah. No.
I'm on North Carolina, buddy.
Darn it. I'm getting to think. Shoot.
All right.
Yeah, lesson plans is everything in South Carolina. Yes. That's why they made the evaluation tool about planning. So,
wow.
Things they're going to look for. Absolutely. Wow. That's interesting. Let's see. Is there anything else you want to add to that number 2, Vance?
No, sir.
I guess just getting everybody involved is the main thing, right?
Yep.
Number 3 says, how will the new evaluation system be used? Well, like I say, in South Carolina, it's different, but the administrator, of course, sets up the evaluation. So they get with us first, and they let us know that we're getting ready to have an evaluation. So we have a pre-conference that talks about our lesson. and then we talk about, then we actually get evaluated, and then we have the post-conference to talk about what our strengths and weaknesses were. So that's kind of how I thought, after today, I thought that new evaluation system would be a great thing.
Ours is pretty much the same. We do a pre-eval. Well, I'm sorry. It's in our system that we do a pre-evaluation, but we don't.
Okay.
But we're supposed to. And then she does the evaluation, and then we have a post-evaluation as well.
Right.
That's how ours is also.
Yep.
Is that yours, Vance?
Yes, sir. Same way.
Now, let me ask you this question. Since we're talking about lesson plans, y'all got me interested. What do they require? I mean, so I don't know. I'm not used to that. So I'm thinking, so you don't have to do a lesson plan. So you just kind of come in, you already have your notes set out on what you're going to do, and you just do it. And when they come in, they just look at what you're doing in the classroom, right? They don't look at your
evaluate and watch what we're doing.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Allie, don't race that. Sorry.
That was good. I like that.
We're working on Microsoft Excel, and I've got these formulas in, and she's over here erasing all my formulas.
Well,
whatever.
He's helping. Yes, and like I said, there was a time before especially with us, before I got this new administration a couple years back, that they did request us to have our lesson plans. So with this new administration, that has been different for me not to have that.
Now, Vance, do your core teachers have that?
They're not. No, it's not required.
I'm just so shocked. I don't know what to think.
I mean, because I remember when I used to have them available, I liked it because I had one assistant principal come in and evaluate me, or he was supposed to, I'm sorry. And then he was trying to, again, some things come up, probably a fight at the bus.
Yeah.
So he couldn't make it. And I said, well, look, here's my lesson plans. If you've got any questions, come see me. He went through my lesson plans. He goes, they were very detailed. I'm good. That was your evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I did my evaluation.
Yeah.
That's when we did lesson plans, and that kind of told you everything I did. I'm not going to keep waiting for, you know what I'm saying? Waiting for you to come in.
No.
Right.
And he respected that. He was a good assistant principal. I'm not taking anything away from him. He was good. But he respected me enough to trust what I gave him, and he knew that I was ready for him twice, and he still didn't come. So he took my lesson plan and went with that.
Well.
Yep. But now I have no lesson plan to give you, so I'm hoping you show up when you're supposed to.
Well, I'm just in shock. I don't even know what that's like. I just don't know what I do.
But I would want lesson plans from my teachers. If I'm the principal, I want lesson plans. The guy I work with said that they used to have them on their door, outside their door.
Mm-hmm.
They had one of those in those mail thing, you know what I'm talking about, on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put them outside your door on a weekly basis so that if the principal, kind of like when you're at the doctor's office,
right?
When the principal come by, they can look and see what you're doing, and if they want to enter, they can. They don't have to.
See, we keep ours pretty much in the same location in every class, so they come in and look at it. We also have what we call, what is that called? Think about it, the data notebook. So we have to pull data off each student, talk about how we differentiate the instruction for them,
and someone does check all this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stay up here in North Carolina.
But see, that's the thing about it. I don't understand. This is what makes me so mad about this whole system is we working our tails off.
You right.
And it's not showing on the end of the year assessment. You know, it's like they come in, they have to do this 3 or 4 day standardized test on each content area. And it's just a one chance. You either make it or you don't. And like I say, like last year I had a student that came in, and all I usually test is small group, which is IEP usually. Mm-hmm. And one of them came in, he said, Mr. Jones, my mama said as soon as I got done with my test, she's going to sign me out. We're going to go to the movies. So literally he got done in 5 minutes on his test and turned it in.
Especially out there on computers.
I've seen that too.
I was like, holy crap. We knew for a fact that was going to be a nothing. I mean, that's going to make our scores plummet. Of course it did.
Yep.
And I don't know. The teachers here get so stressed out about that one test, you know. And
now we did start, I don't know if your school's got enough funds for this. We did do a little thing, and it does get a lot of the kids on board where we had enough funds, I guess, from our PTO. I'm not real sure where the funds came from exactly, but I think it was PTO, where they went out and bought like, not iPads, but the cheaper ones, the LG or whatever, the little whatever.
Yeah.
Bought some of those, some gift cards for like iTunes, just different things like that. And we had a drawing for anyone who met or exceeded growth went into that drawing, and they were pulled out at the end, and they won those prizes. So we had a bunch of those prizes for those kids to be able to.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
And then we also had met or exceeded growth parties at the end of the year.
That's what you have to do nowadays.
You do, and that's sad that you have to reward for doing what you're supposed to do.
That's right. If you don't dangle a carrot in front of them, they're not going to do anything.
They're not.
Motivating is the biggest problem that teachers have. It's so hard to motivate these kids to, I don't know, just do their work in general. Yes. I mean, it used to be when my first year teaching, when I'd issue a 0 to somebody, it worried them to death. Now they'll say, we'll just go on to the next one. I'm sitting here thinking, you're what?
Right.
And I had one the other day that said, what's the minimum I can do to make a C?
Mm-hmm. I've had that.
Thinking, I'm not answering that question. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's motivation. I don't know. I haven't mastered that, I guess. But
I've tried to put it in real world perspective with these kids, and it doesn't work.
Right.
A kid come to me today, and she said, "Can you not change my grade?" And because interims went out today, and I said, "Well, no, you turned in your stuff late. I'll change it in my grade book later, but I'm not jumping to my grade book because you decided to turn it in on the day interims come out."
Right.
So do you think you can go to work and go, I realize I'm not going to be here for the next 3 days, but can you not go ahead and pay me?
Right.
That's not how that works.
Right.
Oh, and she just kind of gave me this dumb look.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now you can exit my room. Thank you.
Right.
But they are so entitled.
Right.
They have no clue.
They have no clue. It's so different than when I was in school. Right.
Yep.
And I'm 35, and it's been holy.
Yeah.
Such a difference now. Taking the paddling out has just made a huge difference, but that's the way of the game.
Yes, I do think that paddling makes a big difference because that doesn't happen at home. And I think if they brought that back, that would make a huge difference.
Oh, gosh, it would. It would make a huge difference.
Yes.
But, I guess we pretty much hit this on the mark, haven't we? I think we're good to go.
We've nailed it.
I don't guess there's anything else we need to talk about this. I think that's pretty much what we need to talk about. So I'll go ahead and we can end the meeting, and I'll go ahead and I think when you hit end the meeting, don't it just go ahead and download?
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I've done this, so
then you got to convert it to the YouTube.
Yep. So I'll go do that right now, and I'll try to have that link to you in the next few minutes.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.